I'll use 3 dowels on each end. The middle one will be glued in place for a permanent joint, but the edge dowels will only be glued at the top and bottom of the mortise, but without touching the tenon, and this will allow for movement in the tabletop. Using a 3/8 inch drill bit, I'll drill 3 dowel holes 1 inch from the edge. You'll want to use a drill block or a guide to make sure you're drilling the dowel holes at a 90-degree angle. Next, I'll remove the breadboard so I can elongate the 2 edge dowel holes. I'll mark the edge holes so that they are vertically elongated but not horizontally. Using a coping saw, I'll carefully cut out my markings so that when attached with dowels, they allow side-to-side movement but won't pull away from the table ends. Now I'll reattach the breadboard, lining up my markings so that the center hole aligns perfectly. You can buy ready-made 3/8 inch dowels, or you can buy a dowel rod and cut them to size. With the breadboard end on, I can remove the cawls. Here I'm gluing the middle dowel joint to permanently secure it. I'm not worried about gluing the dowel to the tenon since it's only at one point. The edges, however, are a different story. Here I'm using a craft brush to dab some glue in the rim of the bottom mortise hole, being careful not to let glue touch the tenon. Then I'll insert a dowel until I can just feel it on the bottom, and then I'll add a small amount of glue to the top of the dowel before further inserting it so that the glue will fix the dowel to the top and bottom mortise holes, but the tenon will be dry and allow for movement. Lastly, I'm using a flush cut saw, or you can use a chisel or even a sander to remove the excess dowel material, and then the tabletop will be ready for finishing.